Welcome back, everybody. Just a quick break, and we're hopping into what is for today, the last round of pool play. After this series, we will get those qualifying matches of open bracket, and I'm already, rubbing my hands together menacingly style. But we got Native White versus BitterSweet. Mikowski, I love that this is the matchup that we're going to wrap up pool play with today, because we've seen Native White versus Native Red. We saw BitterSweet versus Native Red, and now these two teams need to face off to kind of complete that picture.
I'm just going to go right out and say it, Magic. The winner of this series survives to Saturday and beyond. The loser, I believe, will fall into 4th place and be eliminated from that championship bracket before it even begins.
Yeah, we just came fresh from the open bracket. We've seen those open bracket teams. We know what they're capable of. And for the team that drops this series, they are going to have to claw their way just to make it to champ bracket and hope that they get maybe a good draw with that open bracket team coming in. So a lot on the line right now for Native White and BitterSweet. Both of them did lose 0-3 to that Native Red, but those were almost mirrored series. We talked about the Game 2 Slayer being very close when they each face Native Red, and now I'm interested to see how they face off. Do you have any gut instinct about these two teams?
I don't know. I mean, this is for BitterSweet. I don't know. The opportunity is right for the taking for both of these two teams, right? Because of the opportunity and the fact that an open bracket team is going to come in absolutely on fire. This is it. This is to survive to Saturday and beyond. I believe that they'll have a Saturday morning matchup regardless, but if you want to make it to lunch on Saturday, you've got to win this series right here. So, Magic, I'm going to tell you, I don't lean towards any direction. I think it's 50-50. Both these two teams seem pretty evenly matched, but in the early goings, it's BitterSweet with that 30-second milk session and Ninjestics with the Rockets as well. They're looking great.
No, Ninjestics was the player that really stood out to me from BitterSweet earlier today, and once again making smart plays. Fires out that rocket to P Street just as a line of defense. You saw the blast radius damage coming through, but Ninjestics just holding this line. He might rotate here now. He gets the call out. The comms are in place because he was ready to lock onto the next target. A little bait and switch there from Native White. Catches him off guard. Kills are traded out.
Yeah, Ninjestics with some suppressing strategy there. Even the Rockets didn't get the kill, but did enough damage to send that player back, and then pulled out the Sentinel Beam and continue to keep players at bay before going down. All the while, BitterSweet able to take those slays, take advantage of those slays, and build and score 10 more seconds on top of the 30 they had. Magic, that's double the 5 that Native White has this entire game. BitterSweet looking great.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're almost at that halfway point in this round number 1 Oddball on Streets. Dxvinity being the main objective player, and Scoobmeistr, who we're on board with now, the first player on the board to reach double digits with his 10th slay, 10 and 3.
There's that mouse and keyboard prowess from the likes of Scoobmeistr. See that quick flick with the killing frenzy as well. Bops down the shroud screen instantaneously again because of mouse and keyboard and stays alive all because of it. BitterSweet doubling up on that 30 seconds and now approaching 60.
Looking at the stats, Scoobmeistr started off 1-3 and now went on that 10 kill spree. So turning this game right back around, a big piece of why BitterSweet have such control on the effective side, and he's not stopping anytime soon.
Oh!
He's down 1, the assist on the other, but not settling for a trade.
And did you see what Scoobmeistr did there? It wasn't the accuracy, it was the baiting of the melee trade, baiting that opponent. I believe was tapping buttons into a potential trade win condition for him. Took that step back, stayed alive, and continues on. Now finally going down at the cuts, not before scoring 11 in a row.
Incredible run from Scoobmeistr. BitterSweet now with 73 seconds, but what could be the game changer is coach, now player Trey with the Rockets in hand. Look at the restraint, look at the patience, gets a shot off, nearly takes himself down in the process. Of course, one more BR shot was going to be enough for him to go down.
And this is looking like a potential last final 1 or 2 pushes for Native White as they take advantage of the timing, taking down 3 down for BitterSweet, but all the while, 2 going down for Native White, a player standing still. There must be an issue. I can't imagine that player would be standing there if not for some kind of issue. There we go. We see the game end. Unfortunate, but...
Yeah. Y'all, just a little teaser from the A stream right there. We're getting back into the game. Native White versus BitterSweet, and BitterSweet had a good 60-plus point lead. Unfortunately, there was a crash, and now loading back into the game. You already saw the Stalker Rifle in play. You see the fight going down for objective, and the first touch coming through. Once again, BitterSweet now trying to rotate the ball, and Ninjestics with a Stalker wins a crucial kill.
Yeah, not sure exactly what the ruling was after the reset. A 75-10 or 15 or so game for BitterSweet, and they're starting off the the reset looking exactly the same. And that's what you asked. We went to break, Magic, and you said, what does BitterSweet need to do? I said exactly what they did at the opening of Game 1, and that's what they're looking like here. Looking like they could very well take Game 1 from Native White.
Yeah, Dxvinity gets the double kill. Scoobmeistr's looking to pick up a couple of stray players, but it looks like Trey's trying to snuck through his net, jumping up there to the trash, rotating now back through Commando. Scoobmeistr, I'm sure, giving out the information and relying on Ninjestics at the back of Subway to give some cover, but it's Ryuu who comes out with the double kill, keeping him safe. Ryuu with the triple kill coming through. And unfortunately, we lost our feed. Y'all, we're doing our best, okay? Just let me tell you. Over here, we're kind of working off of what we can get from the feed, and we're gonna give you as much Halo coverage as we possibly can.
Yeah, that was an incredible play, though, from Scoobmeistr. Looked like he was about to reset that oddball. You see him kind of glance out towards the spikes, and then he saw the Ryuu triple and said, let me just secure myself. Let me just nestle into the soil over here at Planners and become a one with the soil and earth, as Scoobmeistr was able to secure that oddball time and keep it going. But we are going to go to a quick break, let you guys get back into some commentary on the A stream, and as soon as that B match fires back up, we'll be right back.
Of the game, but 6 Karma making it work still.
Ooh, good shots here initially from Sepstars, but Trippy will get the last laugh. That will be 3 dead yet again for Sepstar. Excuse me, 4-6 Karma. Overshield popping right now.
Should be a free overshield here for Optic Gaming. 3 players already in the death screen, like you mentioned. Trippy's going to get a sniper rifle as well. And this usually spells bad news for anyone. If Optic Gaming get an overshield, if Optic Gaming have control of the weapons, usually you're going to see him go on somewhat of a run.
150 now to 124. Formal with that overshield in hand, he punches it in, and they want even more.
There's one. The war might be the second victim here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is going to be enough for Formal. That'll be B flipping back over to Optic Gaming. They will continue to score.
Very nice work here. Formal with the confidence, as you saw. He had 2.
You know what they say, 3rd time's a charm. Everybody keep your fingers crossed, your toes crossed, your eyes crossed. I don't know, whatever you gotta do. Let's stay in this game because, I mean, we've been itching for this series all day. After Native Red have really dominated in their pool, you talked about these 2 teams maybe deciding who even makes it into that champ bracket
I don't think there's any question. I think that I really do think, to set the stage, the context of this series, win or go home, right? Because you likely go home if you don't win this match. There are too many hungry open bracket teams coming in, filling in that 4th spot in pools. We just got back from the Passion Pit. Everybody is on fire, seemingly. That is making it a deep run on Friday. So this is it. Win or go home.
Here's the difference to me. You mentioned this earlier. The Passion Pit is always hungry teams. But the difference now, we have hungry teams with competitive experience. So you come out with that passion that the Passion Pit brings, that level of intensity, that hunger to get into pool play, and then you add on a layer of experienced player, competitive experience, and those open bracket teams are going to be dangerous tomorrow.
Yeah. Do not want to go up against them, and for now, I got to stay focused on the task at hand. And something I got to point out, Magic, 3 resets, 3 wins for BitterSweet in each of the openings of this Game 1. BitterSweet's won every one, so if it did go into a round 3, it's only round 1 now still. Or maybe it is round 2.
I credited them with a round. I think that we might have maybe lost our feed and got back into it.
Here's what happened.
They have a 1-0.
That's what happened. Scoobmeistr secured the 15 seconds that they needed to win that round. That's what they did. That's why they reset it. We don't have a direct correlation
Yeah.
communication with admin, so we apologize to the chat. We're kind of feeling this one out, but I would guess, based on process of elimination, that is how we got to this 1-0 lead for BitterSweet, and now in round 2. BitterSweet taking the early lead, but it's Native White fighting right back, now down only 4.
You know, I feel like we have to apologize, and then I remember the people at home are Halo fans, and most of y'all have lived this experience, so It's a 1-0 lead for BitterSweet. All of those points finally accumulating into a complete round, and they have the early lead here in round number 2 as well, doubling up the score of Native White, but it's Scoobmeistr once again with that Stalker rifle. BitterSweet having the majority weapon control, a familiar story from what Native White unfortunately had to deal with against Native Red. Not enough sandbox control.
And not enough C control for Native White. If you look look at where BitterSweet has been earning heaps and heaps of this time for them, it's been at back C. Ninjestics drops that oddball and has a shotgun in his back pocket. You want to talk about baiting a player down those spike stairs. They see an oddball holder. No. On the other side, it's Ninjestics with a shotgun instead.
That is a rude awakening, no doubt, to find a shotgun where you're trying to make that push onto the objective. BitterSweet now just 5 seconds shy of that halfway mark, and they're milking out a few more seconds, but it's Mikwen who comes out with a double kill. Ninjestics misses on the melee, cleans up with the bulldog.
Oh.
He gets a double kill of his own, finds the back smack, catching players off guard.
This is what you were talking about, Magic. Ninjestics is the glue of this team, clearly locking down. He's glued to C. He hasn't left it. He hasn't died yet. Now in a 1v1 with Kuhlect, and he wins that too for the killing spree.
Ninjestic versus Kuhlect, and I would have to think that the majority of you have heard Kuhlect's name more.
Yeah.
You need to start being familiar with Ninjestic.
That's what I'm saying, man. These ANZ boys are coming out to show support. And you know what? I gotta imagine it's a salute to Barcode, who would have been on that native white roster. BitterSweet carrying the mantle.
Wait. They're gonna take down Barcode's team in honor of him? How do you do that? Like,
that's how it works in Halo, man. It is ruthless out here.
It is ruthless out here at 60 seconds. A plus added up here for Team BitterSweet and Native White have been struggling just to buy seconds off the objective. Mikwen did have an opening double kill that Ninjestics stopped that break. Native White resetting. They find some objective control, and I have to think they're going to rotate back here to PD because Mikwen is locking down tower.
Well, this is a good sign for Native White because in the previous instance of this score, around the 60-70 mark for BitterSweet, Native White was only at 10 or 15. They've now doubled, looking like tripled up on that, potentially reaching the 45 mark. Now within just 15 seconds, and one more push from BitterSweet, winning that engagement and regaining the lead.
10 seconds down, our Native White getting a nice chunk of time. It was Kuhlect who came away with the next round of rockets, and now finally Native White with some sandbox control, and man, maybe that's just the difference. That's the flip of the switch. Mikwen with the bulldog, Kuhlect with the rockets. They get the sandbox in their hands. They know how to work with it.
Here's a flip of the switch. Here's a flip of the map. BitterSweet, they're dominating C. Native White, they've clearly taken this A side as their focus and favorite for how they want to hold down this oddball. Trey tried the coach, holding it for now, but recognizing the push coming up P, he's going to throw out a couple grenades down to low shields. Can he reset that oddball?
Oh,
no.
with another triple.
That is going to be crucial. That play ball out to bottom mid could have been 10-15 seconds. You might even need another round of slays for BitterSweet, but because that ball does not get reset and played, BitterSweet is likely to regain the lead.
Ryuu has had 2 clutch triple kills. Do you see how he gets that triple kill, stopping the play ball out to mid-map, and then immediately scoops up that oddball? Incredible, game-changing level play. That lead has flipped back to BitterSweet, but it's not the 50-plus seconds anymore. It's a 3-point game.
Hey, I'm liking this for BitterSweet. They might have a cupcake for their logo, but they're not going to be a cupcake matchup here, as they have shown a hell of a fight against Native White. Native White, I mean, I know they're again playing with a sub, but this is a top 8 organization, top 8 team in the HCS. We're seeing some great Halo from ANZ's greatest.
The Rockets once again in control of Native White as they pass that 80-second mark. They're ready. They're primed and ready to force this into a round number 3. Mikwen looking out across. Kuhlect gets the double kill. And with that back smack, it's got to be enough time. They need to get maybe one more kill to milk these last 4 seconds. And as Tapping Buttons finds that kill, we're heading into a round 3.
Yeah, great recognition there from Mikwen, recognizing that because of the score, the desperation coming on there from BitterSweet took the free back smack. Here we see a little shotgun kill. The reversal, no less. You kind of clench your cheeks a little bit when you saw the damage go down on Mikwen first, but he turns on his opponent, turns up, and we're now tied at 1, going into a round 3. This is crucial for game 1. This is the tone and this is the energy shift that you're looking for early in an oddball match that lasts 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, definitely on streets and usually very high kill counts. This one's actually a little bit lower than normally what we'd see for a streets oddball, and I think that's both teams, like we're seeing right now, immediately breaking their way to objective. We haven't even had to really look at the clock yet.
Trey, you can really sense that they're trying to work the oddball into his hands. He's really almost forcing himself on top of it here at the reset point, and he has 8x the second most OBJ time on his team to tapping buttons. So the strategy could not be more clear for Native White.
And we talked about the oddball holder as being like that quarterback position. How perfect for the coach stepping into the game to hold the oddball, to call the plays, let the team get out and get the kills when they need to. Trey right now picking up both jobs though, not afraid to pick up the Bulldog and get a kill of his own when it's needed. He is now the player with the most objective time in the game.
2 shots left in that shotgun. Keep an eye on that because that could come up in the next 60 to 90 seconds or so as Kuhlect goes down. 2-3 down for BitterSweet. Last player alive is Scoobmeistr. And look at this, the smart play. He's looking to reset and anchor a favorable spawn collectively with his team at PD. Brilliant play here from Scoobmeistr. A lot of times players start to overextend, especially down 30-0. Scoobmeistr makes the right play. Now let's see if BitterSweet can take advantage of it by grabbing these rockets and breaking that C setup.
Scoobmeistr is still in the fight off of a life that he preserved with that patience, and you might see the seconds ticking away for Native White, but how many more seconds if he had pushed solo?
Look at this!
And back to the respawn screen. He flanked on one side, Dxvinity on the other. They pinch and steal the objective.
And that is a direct correlation of the survivability. It wasn't even necessarily the survivability from Scoobmeistr because he didn't necessarily face any pressure because he didn't take any of it on. He chose to take a step back and play smart, patient Halo, all the while that score ticking away. Now BitterSweet starting to put some scoring on the board themselves.
You always think it's counterintuitive to take a step back, but Scoobmeistr is proving once again that patience is key. Looking for that opportune moment to strike, and look at the reward, look at the outcome. 1 rocket left to use.
Hey, we need more MNK players in HCS because this is fun to watch. Killing spree for Scoobmeistr, the only player at this tournament on mouse and keyboard. He's the king of ANZ right now. He's the king of MNK, excuse me.
Am I wrong? Isn't Tappy Buttons also an MNK player?
No.
Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Deity Sam.
Yes, Deity Sam.
I got
also from Mexico, but Tappy Buttons plays at close to 10 cents, so he's pretty up there. So you might think he's on MNK.
Okay. Thanks for keeping me in check. I appreciate it. Speaking of Tapping Buttons, I'm really interested in his overall gameplay. Look, he's positive, 22 and 19. In that matchup against Native Red, I felt like Tappy Buttons wasn't playing to his full strength. He wasn't looking like in full form, but now he's turning up. And I feel like the success of Native White has to rely on Tappy Buttons.
Yeah, this is impressive from Native White because so far they're showing that the objective efficiency is in their favor. Down by a slay of, it looks like 3 or 4. So 1 full team wipe advantage for BitterSweet. That's going to get a lot closer after 3 go down for them. They might be even now, but a good 20 to 30 second lead building for Native White, despite the fact that the slays are dead even.
All right, BitterSweet, they've made some amazing breaks. You saw the patience of Scoobmeistr paying off, and they have a chance for maybe 1 or 2 more breakthroughs of their own. It looks like they're going to push onto the B side, but Kuhlect is ready. 2 rounds of that Bulldog. He's going to clean up 1 kill, looking all ready for the next. He's full health, so he's trading out with a teammate, and that bait and switch plays to perfection.
Kuhlect with the triple. You know he's looking for that overkill, but he's not even going to get a chance to take that 4th down. As the shotgun goes down, I believe it's emptied. So Kuhlect going to pick up the rockets instead, and down to no shields. I like this play here. Waste the resources. Trey with just 10 seconds left to win this game 1. Kuhlect makes sure that BitterSweet doesn't have rockets to push in, break their setup. Because of that, it looks like Native White, no! A goal line stand, a last-second fumble as Ninjestics picks it up. Native White are going to have to secure Oddball 1 more time if they want to secure this game 1.
Okay, but Kuhlect did find an answering kill. The numbers right now on the side of BitterSweet, but not by a lot. Mikwen taken down. Scoobmeistr finds a slay, and BitterSweet, they have 1 last chance, but they need to play this perfect. They can't let anything go.
No, this is a game. Hold on to your hats because this could get mixy. 3 minutes left in regulation, so that clock is not going to be a factor in the sense that this one is guaranteed to go to 100 for either of these 2 teams. It's up in the air right now.
A little bit of a trade of kills, a 2v2. Dxvinity drops the ball in order to help with the slay. It kept Scoobmeistr at full health, but Scoobmeistr has to win this 1v1. It's a 1v2. Trey is here as well. He gets the ninja for the fumble, but Trey is here ready to scoop up the last 2 seconds. Ends with 116 objective points. Native White, they snatched that game away from BitterSweet.
And I'm rounding that up to 117.
I would love it.
Because Trey, the tried and true on his own 2 feet. Did you see that, Magic? He plays at home on a standing desk setup.
Okay.
So he came to HCS, grabbed his monitor, HCS Arlington, grabbed his monitor and put it on top of the PC and is playing standing up. That's pretty incredible.
No, you talking about the mouse and keyboard player on the side of BitterSweet?
Right.
On the other side of the,
Yeah.
of the stage,
That's
you got
so
a player
true.
standing
That's so
tall
true.
with their monitor on top of their PC. And I saw that Native White tweeted out. They said maybe the standing buff wasn't enough in the previous series. I don't know. It seems to work right now.
It looks like it here, and yeah, how cool is that? If you were live here at HCS Optics, you get to see something that's never been seen before. A player on one side standing, another player on the other side using mouse and keyboard. That's pretty cool.
Watching back over the replays, the thing that really showed up for me on the side of Native White is finally some sandbox control. It's something we were looking for time and time again in their matchup against Native Red, and they were almost completely denied. They were bankrupt of any power-up control, and that shift made a huge impact on this game and throughout the series, especially game number 2 is going to be that Slayer live fire. You got 2 power-ups to fight over there.
Well, I can't think of a more glaring example of it's not how you start, it's how you finish, because in multiple instances, BitterSweet looked like they had that early edge advantage, and then it was the mid and end game that was dominated by Native White. I always talk about breaking it into thirds. You've got to win 2 out of 3. You cannot win a Halo match without dominating and controlling 2 out of the 3.
Yeah.
Beginning game, mid game, and end game. You've got to control 2 out of the 3, or if you're just really dominating, just all 3, right? But you're not going to win with just 1. There's no way.
And especially when it comes to oddball, there's 3 rounds, so you very practically have to win 2 out of 3.
Math adds
But it
up.
applies also to a game like Slayer, right? You can have a strong early game, a weak middle, as long as you can close it out, or mix that up however you will to be able to get the win. When we had that game 2 Slayer, each of these teams against Native Red scored 39 or 40 slays. Do you have a gut feeling about who takes this game 2?
Right now, it's looking like Native White. They got a buff after the reset because they did not look. They looked up to the challenge of the task, but they did not look up for a win in game 1 until we had that reset. Some kind of, I don't know, maybe a pep talk from player coach Trey. Now Callus though, Callus coaching Native White, so they do have someone that's there timing weapons, and they weren't able to really take advantage of that in the first series. But Callus has to get settled in too, right? Even though he's not on the sticks, he's still got to settle in with this team, and it looks like they're doing just that.
You know, Mikowski, I think we've been agreeing a little bit too much today. I think I'm gonna call on this one. I'm gonna take the side of BitterSweet coming back to tie up the series. We want at least a game 4 between these 2 teams. As you said, their tournament lives very well could be on the line based off the outcome of this series. So, you know, chat, let us know. You feel Native White for this game 2? You feel BitterSweet? You can pick. Obviously, go with what Magic says, but like, you know, do what you want. You have your own people.
BitterSweet gonna need a little magic here in game 2 as they're down 1-0 in the series, down by a kill count of 2, now 3, as Mikwen and the rest of the Native White gang have opened up with a good start in the opening, and that's big because they did not win the opening of game 1.
Yeah.
Now starting to look much better at the start of this match.
Yeah, looking like a little bit more that Native White is picking up where they left off, where they ended strong in that game 1, and they're starting strong in this game 2. Mikwen, I'm going to need you to calm down. My prediction's looking just I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous. I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. BitterSweet are right back in this fight. Mikwen is on that 4-1 right now. Playing once again, patient, precise. He does receive a little bit of damage, so we'll see how he adjusts to that. It's Scoobmeistr with the rapid-fire plasma pistol, and surprisingly does not get the trade on that kill.
Kuhlect using that repulsor 360 movement tech to get across the bridge with less
Oh, sniper down though.
opportunity to take him down, but he does go down instead. Mikwen with a huge double kill. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Right time, right place. A double kill isn't enough unless you can turn it into overshield control, but that's going to be contested as well. Mikwen looking for the instant explode. He's not going to get it, and despite the double kill, Scoobmeistr and BitterSweet have OS.
I never doubted you for a second, BitterSweet. I wasn't even nervous because right now they might be 1 point down, but they have both power-up control. The sniper in the hands of Dxvinity, one off of the dead body of Kuhlect, a little bit too reminiscent of a previous series, was what set up this play for Scoobmeistr to be able to get the OS. They used one power-up to secure another, and Scoobmeistr is running away with it.
And honestly, this is something that you don't have to plan for with any other team, but if I'm playing against BitterSweet, I am not engaging in close quarters combat with Scoobmeistr, a player on mouse and keyboard who is going to have much faster hands than anybody he goes up against. So if I'm a coach for Native White or any of these organizations going up against BitterSweet here in pools, I'm letting them know, do not get in close proximity because Scoobmeistr will take you down.
I don't think you want to face him against a sniper either. The only thing lucky right now for Native White is the fact that that sniper is out of ammo, but Scoobmeistr is not out of his plays. He secures the killing spree before Mikwen finally shuts him down.
Mikwen with a crucial double again. This one going to be much better in the sense that it's not to secure overshield, but it secures the map control. And with 34 seconds until that next overshield, it looks like Mikwen is setting up for it preemptively.
Yeah, it looks like Native White also have a little bit of tower control, although Dxvinity finds a pick. The swift judgment of Mikwen's sniper comes into play. It's a 1-point game, inching up on the halfway point.
Mikwen staying alive. Doing some dance moves at top mid to continue that streak. OS up in 10. This has been the part of the map that Mikwen has been
he hits that.
and earn, and he lands the shot. Trey cleans him up, and then Mikwen cleans up the shots that Trey got. That is the synergy you'd expect from a duo that's been playing forever. Trey just got on the team as a player, so he's filling in. Doesn't look like a fill-in right now, though.
Well, I mean, one thing going for Native White is Trey as the coach. They've already had that team chemistry. It's not like they're being
They have two coaches, I guess.
A new player. Yeah, they get spoiled.
Better than one coach.
What's better than two coaches? Yeah, Trey playing so well right now. 7-5, and also impressive is that teamwork and coordination between him and Mikwen, the IGL of this roster. Mikwen is not done. Sets up another kill, and guess who cleans it up? It's Trey once again.
And honestly, form that duo. Even if it's just for the weekend, form it, right? It's working right now, and it seems to be natural, right?
It makes sense, right? Kuhlect and tapping buttons are both lone slayers, right?
Yeah.
So the other two players, Mikwen, Trey, they're the anchors of the team. They're holding the team's stability, and if they're locking down as a duo, they give that freedom to Kuhlect and tapping buttons to go off and find their individual slays.
Well, I love watching teams throughout the weekend find their form and improve game to game, series to series, day to day, and what a treat for us against BitterSweet, no less, to see Native White looking extremely strong collectively as a team despite all the issues they've dealt with as a team. Up 5 here. The game starts at the 30s, and Native White looking like they have a good lead.
All right, Dxvinity did find a double kill. I know we're looking at Ryuu, right? That breadstick in the kill column, not looking good for a player that secured, 2 triple kills that were pretty decisive in the last game. Now Ninjestics finds a double kill. What's better than the overkill? 2 double kills is what BitterSweet just came up with.
And it's brought him back in this game, now down only 3. Most importantly, Dxvinity with control of that heat wave. And might want to take control of the snipe tower as well, but instead Ryuu going to take down the opponent at snipe tower. Dxvinity takes down the player in tunnel instead, and now BitterSweet is down just 2. Can they make it a 1-kill game? No!
It gets traded out. I said Ryuu's name, and since then he's gotten 3 slays where he was trapped at 1. He's right back in this game, and with it, so is Team BitterSweet. The next round of OS, so crucial. A little bit of even slays back and forth, a 2v2 here. Ryuu and Dxvinity versus Mikwen, and it looks like BitterSweet, they're getting the OS.
2 kills separating these two teams, less than halfway to go in this map. Ryuu and BitterSweet with a lot of overshield to work with, a potential double here, but no Kuhlect, despite the overshield for BitterSweet, takes him down.
Ninjestics with a double, 1 player around the corner, but he has some cover fire. I believe they have the sniper up at Nest, as you saw raining down shots, and it was in the hands of Dxvinity, keeping his teammate alive.
And it's tied, so the edge goes to Dxvinity with that snipe tower control. They now have the lead itself outright, 2 kills, 39-37.
They didn't even rely on the sniper. They didn't even rely on the high ground position to get the lead back in this game. The trade goes through. There's another 1v1 happening at the back of tower. Ninjestics might be the player to find that sniper. He sees it at the bottom of tower on the ground, but he doesn't desperate for it yet. He's baiting it. He's watching it.
Wow, this is so interesting. Yeah, he really is, but now it looks like one of their players has picked up the sniper. Now it's a 2v2 turned into a 1v2. They're going to lose that because of that. Now tied 41 all. Kuhlect pushing up into S1 has that sniper, but he goes down. 2 down for BitterSweet, 1 down for Native White, tied 42 all.
He nearly repulsed a player off of the map, but no. Native White now with control of that sniper. You heard a shot going across top mid. There's probably, 3 shots left in that sniper? I didn't catch a good look of the last
That's
ammo
a lot,
count.
though.
Wait, is this OS? No, it's a shroud screen. Okay,
That's a lot, though. That's 3 shots. Doesn't sound like a lot, but in a 42-42 game,
Yeah.
That could be the difference. Tapping buttons. Looking to put some shots down on his opponent. Over on the Nest side, the Shroud screen eliminates any visibility from S1 for now, and that's going to be the object on the map that gets these two teams to move out of their standoff is that overshield up in 5.
This is bringing me back to Season 1 where you see these late game standoffs, but Mikwen draws one. He gets the double, and he's challenging for the triple. He has Scoobmeistr down to 1 shot, but the assist have the lead though. The help comes through. It's Ninjestics who flanks behind.
I'm thinking in my head.
Oh my gosh.
I'm thinking in my head it's Mikwen for the win. Instead, it's BitterSweet who come back, take the lead. Now it's tied. Kuhlect with the overshield, pushes up top mid, lands the double kill, and gives Native White that narrow 1 kill
Why
lead.
did Scoobmeistr fire? He had the back of Kuhlect with OS. All he had to do was sprint forward 2 steps to get that Achilles spine. And you keep the lead on your side, but instead, Kuhlect quick to adjust to the gunfire, switches 180, finds the kill, 2-point lead for Native White.
BitterSweet unable to secure the Achilles spine, and it might just be the Achilles heel in their armor, as that is a tough one, as it looked like BitterSweet was primed to tie up this series at 1. Native White only need 1, but BitterSweet lands the grenade kill. It's 549 all! Who won that?
Native White got it!
Oh my god, Native White win at 50-49! A mosh pit at bottom mid, and they're still taking faces and slays as Kuhlect gets an extra back smack for good measure, and it makes sense. After an incredible performance in Game 2, Native White have a 2-0 lead.
In the battle for power-up.
Wow.
The OS from Kuhlect beat out the sniper in the hands of
It was that heatwave shot. That was the damage. If that player goes into bottom mid at full shields, BitterSweet wins this game. That heatwave shot looked like it could have been the difference in this game for Kuhlect and Native White. Staying alive with this heatwave. Only 2 shots. We said that's a lot of ammo in the snipe. 3. It was the heatwave instead with 2 shots that ended up being the difference. And that's absolutely, that's a ton. That's a ton of potential damage when you have 2 in the tube. Mikwen pushes in, and look at that. Mikwen goes down the tunnels, and Kuhlect wraps to flank and take the dummy stairs positioning. Mikwen is just bait right here. Mikwen goes down, but it's all part of the plan. Tapping buttons goes down, it's all part of the plan. Now you'll start to see Kuhlect work through C platform and wind up at the dummy stairs, landing those heatwave shots on his opponent before pushing into bottom mid. It looked a little risky when Kuhlect broke off from Mikwen there.
Yeah.
You thought, uh-oh, if you guys separate, that might be GG's, but Kuhlect, the young gun no less, made the right call in his mind, made the right positioning move to flank and hit a little bit of a long flank. It got really, really tight at the end, 50-49, but the tried and true, the strategy, trusting your gut, right? Making that split-second decision. If Kuhlect goes, I'm going to flank. No, I'm going to go with Mikwen. No, I'm going to flank. It's GG's. They lose that. There are so many situations where Native White loses that game, but because of the confidence and that split-second instant decision from Kuhlect, they take game 2 and look primed to take the series.
What an incredible game number 2 on both sides. A little bit more bitter than sweet on the side of our team from ANZ to be just that.
This is
close.
That was huge too. Look at Mikwen, the wily veteran. He knows Overshield is coming up, and what does he do? He doesn't even approach it. We saw earlier he was setting up on top of Overshield, but because of the situation.
Oh, Scoop, why did you fire that first?
Wow.
I can't watch it. He had the back smack right there.
So Kuhlect with the double kill. That's cause and effect. That's the fork in the road that put a fork in BitterSweet.
Oh, hey, don't put a fork in them. They're not done yet. They might be down 0-2 rather.
Do you cut your cupcakes in half with a knife, or do you just like eat it like one bite?
Oh, heck no. I'm not fancy enough for that. Who cuts their cupcakes?
Oh, 2-0 lead here for Native White. BitterSweet. You can't say that it hasn't been a highly contested series. Look at this, 2-1 in streets, and I always say, like, sometimes the score doesn't really reflect how close it was, but in this series, it does.
Yeah. Every game has been a brawl, and that shift of momentum, we talk about how Halo is such a momentum-based shooter. The shift happened in that round 2 of Oddball Streets. Round 3, Native White continued carrying that momentum, and the opening stage of Game 2 ultimately was what won them the game.
Yeah, and think about that. That was huge for Native White to have that end game. Again, the end game is too strong for Native White. And I guess if you had to lean into any of the 3, beginning, middle, and end, you really got to lean into the end game because it all comes down to that when it's that highly contested, that close. Native White clutch up. And what could be 0-2 is 2-0 instead. And you'll love to see that, again, for Native White dealing with so much adversity going into this tournament. they might just make a little bit of a run and get the championships Saturday, and who knows?
I have to think here with these teams, Native White, leaning into their strengths, right? We have that experience from Trey, the coach, playing now as the fill-in, and we have the experience from Mikwen, and then you got the young guns. You were giving, Kuhlect a lot of credit on that decisive flank with the heat wave.
That was one of the most impressive plays I've ever seen from Kuhlect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And
because it was about the mental. It was about the decision there. It comes down to making that split-second decision, and so many players. Think about what if Kuhlect still comes to the conclusion that he wants to make that push to dummy stairs. If he makes it a half a millisecond later, the whole sequence of that does not go that way. BitterSweet wins that game. So I cannot, that was for me. We've seen Kuhlect make incredible individual plays. We've seen all the triples and the overkills, but so far in Halo Infinite for Kuhlect's career, that was my favorite play from him.
You know who got the final kill of the game?
Who? Was it Kuhlect?
Trey.
It was Trey.
Set up by Kuhlect.
Trey's always
gets the assist.
Trey's always on the two sides of the coin. He's either cleaning up or he's bruising the player down to no shields. And we saw him and Mikwen almost doing a dance and a tango. It's all right, I'll take this player down. Mikwen, you finish him up. All right, Mikwen, I'll take him down to no shields. Trey, you clean that one up. So starting to see a little bit of a duo-like chemistry form between Mikwen and Trey as Mikwen starts off hot, 2-1 in this game. And look at that. As a result, Trey has the Rockets.
All right, BitterSweet, this is your time to turn this series around. One last note I want to say about Kuhlect is, as a new player on this Native White roster, the fact that his team has so much confidence in him to make that decision, to make that play. He's not the play caller on this team, but they're letting him do his thing. I mean, I'm liking how Kuhlect's fitting in with this roster.
You bring up a great point, Magic, because that can frustrate. I talked to a lot of pro players. That can frustrate the team when you make those wide flanks, almost like hero-type plays, solo plays. In a game like Halo Infinite that's so systematic, that doesn't always pan out and work for you. So again, it just goes to show why that was such an impressive play for Kuhlect and Native White, but
he had to make sure it works. You can make that big hero play as long as you pull off that hero play.
Yeah, that's right.
Because, a couple of rounds of damage difference, and that game switches to BitterSweet. But because Kuhlect was successful, right, Native White are going to keep giving him that freedom to make those calls.
Yeah, and we saw earlier on Streets, map 1, game 1, BitterSweet was the team to take the early advantage in that oddball. And look at the same here on Strongholds, that 30 seconds of milk that we saw on oddball. It's now in Strongholds instead, a 30-second lead for BitterSweet with their back against the wall.
Tapping Buds is running through a gauntlet of grenades right now. They got some remote detonation damage from those spikes, and he turns that no shield.
Oh, huge last player alive.
Double kill. 4 down for BitterSweet.
And if they can get a close spawn at PD, no, they're going to get that cafe spawn instead. That was huge. I thought maybe BitterSweet was going to have a chance to stop Kuhlect, but they're going to take A instead. So I love that. When you say to yourself, hey, we'll give you B, but we're going to take A, or we'll give you Overshield, but we're going to take map control. That was a great heads-up decision from BitterSweet now. So great decision-making on display from both of these two teams now as we see Kuhlect back with the Rockets.
How many times are these teams playing deal or no deal? And sometimes you're taking a gamble on what you open up that briefcase and find. If I give up a zone capture, but I get Rockets, is it going to pay off in the end of the game?
Looking like a deal right now for BitterSweet as they have bounced back in this series. Looking extremely strong in the beginning game, but can they find the second of the 3? Can they have a strong mid game or an end game? They're going to need that. Otherwise, Native White, they can and will come back. But just as I say that, BitterSweet, they're saying, don't worry about it, Mikowski. We're going to go into the hundreds with a trip cap.
They probably are saying that, Mikowski, but in a cooler accent. Gotta appreciate the guys from ANC. Obviously, they have the most colorful and incredible jerseys. Grace tried to buy one off of Ninjestics in the hallway earlier. She straight up offered him $100. No surprise there. But hopefully she can win the giveaway for a jersey, okay? I'm still holding out some hope for Grace, and right now, BitterSweet are holding out hope in this series as they near that halfway point, holding Native White to just 2.
Yeah, support this BitterSweet international roster. Go check them out on Twitter. Doing a little jersey giveaway as they're not giving away any of this map control to Native White as Dxvinity. And this is the same strategy they had in the oddball match, locking down the C tram. Not only the location of it, the hill, but more so the angles that they're able to use to look out through mid, to the right on B side, and through Cafe as well. BitterSweet are locking it down.
Still holding Native White to just 2, but if C flips, we might see Native White finally, desperately getting some points on the board. 3 players from BitterSweet rotating here to B side. Mikwen finds himself in a 1v2, and I wonder where's the backup. Is it Trey try? Is it Kuhlect? Where is it? It's Kuhlect with the Stalker rifle, giving some cover fire, and Mikwen picks off the other kill.
And it's a crucial time because the Rockets are up in 5. Those are those impactful slays that you need in Halo Infinite. Otherwise, it's a moot point. Mikwen with the shots, able to help his team secure those Rockets, but he goes down to Scoobmeistr, and Ryuu has his back for a bait and switch potential. Ninjestics takes down Kuhlect, 3 go down for Native White, and BitterSweet should be able to regain control of C.
Where are those Rockets, though? Where? There, he just pinged them. Ryuu just pinged them for his teammate at the bottom of B. I think now rotating back through, you see 1 kill goes down for BitterSweet with the use of the Rockets. I think there's 1 more Rocket still in play.
What?
Left to be seen. There it is.
Oh.
It's Ninjestics getting 2 kills with 2 Rockets.
That might be the ping of the match. So often we see locations get pinged, but there we saw the actual rocket launcher ping. You can either scan for it, or if you got a really friendly teammate, he'll just ping it for you. BitterSweet with the teamwork, the camaraderie, enough to come back in this series, and specifically Game 3, they look incredible.
Ninjestic gets a nice double kill. He was already weak and gets traded out for the second, but it's Scoobmeistr, 12-6 right now, leading the charge for this ANZ roster. They're not giving up without a fight. Watch out, though. Kuhlect with that high ground position, stealing Tram back away, finds the headshot onto Ninjestics and swapping weapons. He picks up a Bulldog. Ryuu doesn't give him time to set up.
Ryuu, last player alive, not only takes down an opponent, but he earns the shotgun as well. That is huge. One of the greatest plays you can see as the last player alive, and he gets the 2-tap as well. Ryuu with a game-changing, momentum-changing potential play. But despite that, Native White regain control of B and C, starting to put a little fight back, and if they can get back to within 60 seconds or so, the heat is on.
Ryuu just controlling bottom mid. Opts to not even go for that high ground position. Teammates do collapse onto C, but Native White quickly adjusts. They're rotating to A. Ryuu continues to find kills without even making a move towards an objective.
And Ryuu, with that shotgun melee, going to keep 1 in the back pocket, but he goes down eventually. Again, got to keep an eye on that shotgun side. I'm really curious if BitterSweet maybe sets up or uses the shotgun side, the cafe side of the map, as a funnel because of that weapon coming up. That's going to help them lock down C, but they're going to need much more than that as A and B are maintaining in control of Native White. Oh. They've cut this lead in half.
The melee comes through. I was wondering if it was going to be a back smack or a potential for almost a ninja type of an opportunity, giving the opponent the slip. It's Mikwen now with 1 rocket storming the castle, gets the quick reset, and Mikowski, don't look now, we got a game on our hands.
B becomes so important for BitterSweet. It's not only the anchor point to flipping the scoring back in your favor, but there's a stalker there laying on the caution tape. Who's going to be able to collect it? Kuhlect has an opportunity. Scoobmeistr is right there next to it. It's still on the ground. I've never seen such little love for the Stalker rifle, as the grenades are enough to trade out. 3 go down for Native White. BitterSweet go 3 down as well. A huge last play, alive play from Mikwen, but he goes down. Dxvinity wins the crucial piv, and if he can stay alive, should regain the scoring. No, he goes down. Native White clinging to A and B.
The fight for B, and right now B stands for bait. If you step foot on that objective, a grenade is bound to find you. Native White now just 20 seconds down from what was a huge lead from BitterSweet early, but Ninjestic finds the back of 1. Tapping buttons, though, not traded out on the kill.
Oh, this is where you're yelling on land. They're looking nervous. They're nervous, right? You're trying to build up that confidence, that morale boost, and I would assume BitterSweet has to be nervous because Native White, it's been all Native White the last 100. So we ask Magic, who's got the beginning game? BitterSweet. Mid game goes to Native White. Who wins the end game?
Right now, it's Native White continuing. This team is dangerous when they find their momentum. 3 down for BitterSweet and 3 caps for Native White.
Wow. All out domination. And you want to talk about finding your footing. They not only found their footing, did Native White, but they kind of like rubbed it in a little bit, like really anchored themselves in the ground because they are standing 10 toes down, tapping buttons with another rocket launcher to use. But BitterSweet able to flip control of B. This is an opportunity for them, but tapping buttons is going to shut it down. But no, the grenade takes down tapping and that stalker again. Let's see who can grab that. That's going to be a huge point of contention for the endgame.
A 200 mark has been crossed first by Native White. If Slayer starts at 30, Stronghold starts at 200. It's the home stretch now for Native White. BitterSweet, they capture A, but they give up C in the process. So far in this game, the team that's control of B is the team that is adding points to the board. Scoobmeistr might need to make a desperate approach, but he is stopped short. Native White are watching every angle.
Trey, the fill-in. Looking to fill in the gaps here at back A. In a 1v1 with Ryuu. Takes him down with the reversal. And that's going to catapult this Native White roster to what looks like a 3-0 sweep. Trey in a huge 1v1 has another one. Can he win it? No! Scoobmeistr takes him down and gives BitterSweet their last bit of life.
Scoobmeistr has the help of teammates. He allows them to kind of take the front charge, allows his shield to regen, but he's getting shot in the back. It's Mikwen on that window side shooting across from Bulldog. B is flipped. Trey is here to try to flip it right back and has the help. 3 go down for BitterSweet, and with that, maybe the series. They're on C. It's not over yet.
Trey last competed in 2014. Hasn't been on the sticks in 10 years, but looking right at home on this Native White roster as the 4th, securing B and then C to secure the 3-0 sweep for Native White. Trey as the fill-in coach plays absolutely like you'd expect a everyday pro, a standard, right? But he's a stand-in looking like the standard.
The stand-in looking like the standard. Is this the next Bohm in the making?
Who knows?
Side of Native
Who
White,
knows?
where the substitute is filling in and maybe even adding another layer to the damage that Native White can do as they complete the 3-0. I have to credit BitterSweet. Every game was competitive.
Yep.
A 3-0 sweep does not tell the whole story.
Yeah, that was, again, one of those that did not tell the story. It really felt like more like a 3-2 finish, as the 3-0 will in fact be the official ruling for Native White as they earned it. And again, some of the Halo Bros Magic, they've been competing for 10 years, 10 plus years, decades. Trey hasn't competed in 10 years. So again, I'm going to take my time to really show some love to Trey in an extremely difficult situation. He's not anchoring the squad. Like, he's not costing them. He's not selling. He's actually filling in incredibly well with a day's notice. Unbelievable. Way to go, Trey. Way to go, Native White. And way to go, BitterSweet, too, for putting up a hell of a fight. Love to see their performance here this weekend. Love those MNK plays from Scoobmeistr, but it just, unfortunately, was not enough.